I'm just muting myself. Kylie.
Yes, Mehala.
Already 61 people joined, so we can start the session.
Mehala, I am starting immediately, right? Nobody is speaking before me.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Start, Shelly.
Kylie, go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon to all my colleagues at VIDYA. It is my pleasure today to be a part of this prestigious organization which believes in the betterment of its employees. I welcome our Honorable Chairperson Rashmi Mishra ma'am, our Honorable Vice President of VIDYA Mumbai Dr. Nayan Dabolkar, and all the board members and staff across India. About 2 months ago, Rashmi ma'am had initiated the Self Love and Self Care series for all of us during the pandemic. The objective was clear to remain calm and love ourselves in every situation put forward to us. I am confident that all of us have benefited through these sessions and learnings have taken place. In today's webinar, we have our guest, Ms. Priyanka Arora ma'am, taking us for a deep dive into the search of inner self and well-being. Ms. Priyanka Arora is a certified life coach and also an executive board member at Vidya Mumbai. I'm so happy that she's conducting this session for us today, given her expertise in this area. Not taking any more time and moving ahead to the session, let me set some ground rules. In order to keep up the energy and support each other, we will be expected to talk and share wherever asked. It is always pleasant to see someone and exchange a smile. So keep your videos on so we can spread joy. Too many voices at a time may lead to a confusion, so please keep your mics on mute unless asked to unmute. Handing over the session to the speaker now, and let's get started.
Thank you so much, Yali. Really appreciate the introduction. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a privilege to be here. Let me just start by sharing the screen. So I welcome all of you to this session. Good afternoon, everyone. As I said, it's a privilege to be here to the wonderful initiative on self-love that has been started by Honorable Rashmi ma'am and Honorable Dabolkar sir. A warm welcome to all the governing board members and to the beautiful staff of it. Thank you so much for being here. And I really hope that you are all set for an inner journey for the next 60 minutes and have as much fun in the session as I had in putting it all together. So as I already requested everyone, just before we start the session, can I request all of you to please put on your cameras? It's so much more fun talking to faces than just names. Please put your cameras on. Thank you so much. Yes, it's so nice. Thank you, everyone. Give me 1 second. And also, can you please put off your phones or put them on silent so that there's no disturbance for an hour. Just wanted to say that the session is all about you, celebrating your uniqueness. So please be completely present and participate fully. It will be my privilege to take you on this journey. Thank you so much, and let's start. So this is going to be the plan for the session. We're going to have a quick check-in. That's going to be your, we're going to do a short clearing and connection exercise, have a quick check-in, dive into ourselves, doing the GEM principles, and then a short reflective space. And open for any questions that you all may have. Yeah? So let's start with a short clearing and connection exercise. Can I request all of you to gently close your eyes? Take a deep breath in. Let go of everything that has happened till now and all that needs to be done after an hour. Just set it aside. Let your energy be focused in the now, in the moment. Allow yourself to be fully present, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And open your eyes. Yes. I'm going to start with something what we call as the standards of presence. These are the principles that we will use as an energy base for the session. And if you like them, you can please happily take them back into your life. It will be my pleasure if you do that. But definitely can I just request you to honor all these principles while we are in the session for sure. So first of all, bring a beginner's mind to all that you're listening and all that is being shared. Just listen to everything as a child with a wonder, as if you're hearing it for the first time. And believe me, you just may be surprised with what you may learn and take back. Secondly, practice a positive focus. Just focus on 98% that is going on right in our life. Remember, what you focus on expands. Connect to each other at a heart level. Don't be judgmental, either about self or about the others. When you're listening to other people, share, do it with positivity and authentically. Keep it simple, keep it positive, happy. Listen deeply with honor. When you're listening to others, do it with full focus. Give your full attention when somebody is sharing something and let them complete what they are sharing. Also, fully receive acknowledgement and support. If somebody is complimenting you, just give a smile and a thank you and receive it 100%. In a nutshell, just be fully present. Be present to the whole session with your mind, body, and soul. Right. So let's start. What are we going to start with? We're going to start with something what we call as a core selfie. We all love to take selfies, right? Whether it's we, our children, all of us love to take selfies. We're going to start the session by taking a core selfie. Only difference is we're going to be taking a selfie of our inner being here. बाहर की तो हम लेते रहते हैं. As I said, this is something hatke. We're going to be doing it with our inner being. As I said, the session is all about you, your uniqueness coming out and being authentic to who you are. That's what the session is about. So can I just request all of you to take a paper and a pen, please? I hope you have that handy. If not, we'll wait for 30 seconds where each one of you can organize a paper and a pen. I want you to divide it into 3 parts. In the first part, what we're going to do is, I want you all to bring to your mind your all-time favorite animal. It could be a pet or otherwise. A pet that you've had, a pet a friend has had, a sibling has had, or even a pet that you wished you had had. Just bring to your mind that animal. And I want you to bring to your mind 3 to 5 life-affirming qualities of that animal. And write them down, please. And when I say life-affirming, what I mean is something positive about them, something which is, which adds to the life. So for example, if you admire a tiger, don't write, I like the tiger because it kills. The tiger is basically also about giving protection, being protective, it's strong. That is the reason it is able to hunt, right? So just write about 3 to 5 life-affirming qualities of that animal that you like. If you can show me by the electronic hand, if you guys have done it, or type it in the chat, then I will know when to move ahead. Thank you, Keith. I'm going to take a few seconds more and then we're going to go ahead. Does anybody need more time? Okay. Now in the second part, what I want you to do is, I want you to think, how many of you like nature? You show lovely. Thank you, Kirti. I can see you lovely. Thank you so much. I love the responses. And can I please request others to put on their camera? Thank you, Malika, for showing the thumbs up. Yes. Lovely. So now I want you to bring to your mind, thank you, Priyanka. I want to bring to your mind and just think about it, that if you were something in nature, what would you be? You may want to look out of the window and say, okay, what can I see? What would I want to be? Or just shut your eyes gently and imagine if you were something in nature, what would you be? So I want you to write that. And I want you to write one quality about that thing in nature which you resonate with. The essence of that thing in nature that you connect to. I'm going to give a couple of examples. Please do not take them. I'm just giving them as examples. I'm going to give you my example, because when I did it the first time, what came to my mind was that, what if I was a mountain? And when I thought of mountains, it was more like the Himalayan, because I'd just come back from a trek. So for me, they were endless. For somebody like you, for one of you, it could be maybe ocean. What is it about ocean that resonates with you? It could be a tree, it could be a shrub, it could be anything. One quality about it that for you describes that thing in nature. Thank you, Kirti. Is there any confusion? And lastly, what we're going to write is, I want you to write one word that you think is the biggest contribution of that thing in nature. And again, I don't want you to be technical. I don't want you to say that, oh, if I'm a tree, then I'm going to give oxygen. What does oxygen do? What is the essence of that contribution? So for me, I'm going to take that example further, the one that I resonate with, saying that I'm a mountain. I feel they are endless. And the contribution of the mountains in my mind is that they are life supporting. They're supportive. So the three words for me that came out of this exercise were mountain, endless, supportive. If you have any questions, please ask. Really, I can't see the chat. So if there is anything that's coming up which needs to be dealt with in the chat, just tell me, please, and I'll handle that question.
Yes, sure, I will.
Are we done? Can I have some thumbs up, please? This is something that we all need to do together. Thank you, Sai Prabhavati. Thank you, Kirti. It's nice to see the participation. Can I request others to please put on your cameras? It's so much fun when I can see the faces. Okay. Great. Now coming to the last thing, I want you to now think back over the last 2-3 times when you were complimented on the way you do things. When somebody came up to you and saying, my God, how do you do this as easily and as effortlessly as you seem to do this? Just recall the last few times and write 5 to 6 things that others admire you for the ease with which you do that. And to make it more interesting, or I would say more inclusive, why don't you write maybe 2 things which are told to you by your friends, 2 by your peers, 2 by your leaders. Or it could, I'm just a suggestion, it's just to make it a mixed bag kind of thing. And please be liberal. Don't say, oh, that's okay, they say it, but I know I'm not good at it. If they said it, obviously you're good at it. Please acknowledge yourself. Take this opportunity to be self-appreciated. Are we done? Can I have some thumbs up, please? Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, just putting it together, what I want you to do is, where you've written my pet's qualities, I want you to cut that and write my core values. Change the heading from my pet's qualities to my core values. The second part, which talks about the nature, I want you to write I am in front of that one word that you have written that thing that describes in nature. So in my case, it was endless, right? So I'm going to write, I am endless. That becomes my sentence. Follow that word by a in order to, and then write the word which describes the contribution of that thing in nature. So in my case, the sentence is, I am endless to support life or to be supported. Is there any confusion for anybody? All the faces that I can see seem to be okay. I don't know about the people who are off camera. Anything, please add it in the chat or unmute yourself. People who got the cameras on, can you show me a thumbs up so that I know it's done and we can move ahead? Some KP, thank you so much. And the last part of it, which were the qualities that your friends admire you for, I want you to cut that and write my natural gifts and talents. So very quickly, I'm just going to sort of decode what we've done. As I said, we've taken a selfie of your inner being as to who you are. What are the values? What are your core values? These are the inspirational values that are the base for all your actions. The second, the sentence that we've created, that's the life purpose. This is what you are meant to do as your life's work. For me, it's about providing support to people in whatever they are doing. Third is your natural gifts and talents. What are your talents? What are the qualities? What are your attributes that you have which allow you to do your life's work? Those are your natural gifts and talents. That's why this is called as a core selfie. We are so many of us, believe me, if we start exchanging, we'll realize that when it is said, right, that all of us are unique, this is what we talk about being unique. All of us will have different values. They'll obviously be overlapping, but each core selfie sheet will be different in totality. And this, what we have done is created your unique thing on paper. So you use it as a compass for yourself, for your life, but definitely for the session. As we go along, we will be referring to this again and again. Any questions before we go ahead? So here we are about what we've done. Can I just request all of you to quickly type in one of your core values and one of your core strengths in the chat box? Come and see that. Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this. So now to do the session that we all promised you to do, getting into the GEM framework, connecting it to who we are, doing the GEM framework. How do we practice gratitude, cultivate empathy, practice mindfulness? This is what we're going to be shining light on, the GEM principles, and connecting it to ourselves, our own inner being. What is gratitude? I'm sure You all know it, we've heard it from childhood, and I'm sure there have been enough sessions about it. Basically, when we talk about gratitude, it's an appreciation for something that is valuable to us without its monetary value, irrespective of the monetary value. I'll just give you a small example. What are we grateful for? For example, are we grateful for the job that we do? And if we are, just think about it. Is it just the money that comes out because of the job that you're grateful for, or the security that you feel and experience because of the money that you get out of the job? The opportunity to make a difference in people's lives, lighting up children's lives, sharing the knowledge. That's what we talk about having gratitude. Something that is valuable apart from the monetary worth. It's something that is freely given. It's not something which is forced. And it's basically an acceptance of the gifts and the benefits that we receive. It's an acknowledgement of whatever we've received and we are enjoying. That is what gratitude is all about. So the thing is, if we agree that it is benefits, what is it that we can do? One is, what is it we can do and why would we do that? What are the benefits of practicing gratitude? First of all, it just creates us so much of a happier outlook. It allows us to operate from a state of abundance because we feel we are so blessed. It allows us to, operate from that sense of abundance. It increases the chances of surviving the hard times so much more because it psychologically makes you stronger with positivity, positive energy, optimism, all of that. It allows you to have that kind of a strength to go through this so much more positive. And that is why we say gratitude is uplifting as well as life affirming. It also allows you to be so much more compassionate because you then start operating from the space of wanting to share with others or wanting to share with others the joy that you yourself are experiencing. And just to be clear, we are not here to say, oh, there's no negativity, there are no challenges. It's not like that. It is there, but it allows us to operate from the space of appreciating the people and the resources that support us to deal with those challenges. It just creates that kind of a mindset. So it completely shifts from just surviving to actually thriving. That is what practicing gratitude does. There are lots of ways to practice gratitude. It could be writing a gratitude journal. I'm sure you've all heard about it. Also, acknowledging and focusing on what is going right in our life. So I'm going to do a very short exercise with you, and I want all of you to do this with me. I'm going to just change the view. I want all of you to just roll up your thumb like this. Just roll up your thumb like this. And keep it very far. And slowly bring it closer to your eyes till you get it at a point where you can only see from that hole that you have created. Now, what was happening, this is what we call as wearing the lens of positivity in our lives. If we wear it and we decide to see everything from that positive lens, we are noticing all that is positive in our life. It does not mean that the rest of it has gone away, but we choose to focus on the positives in our life. What happens? Would somebody like to unmute themselves and say what would happen if you choose to put your focus only on the positive? What's going to happen? Would somebody like to share?
More
Yes,
energy.
Cyber.
More
More
energy.
energy. Absolutely, Cyber. More energy for sure. Yes. Anybody else?
Good vibes.
Good vibes. Absolutely, Mala. Good vibes. Positive energy. Good vibes. Good vibes for self. Good vibes for everybody around us.
Everybody.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anybody else?
You can take up any challenge.
Yes, for sure, Bhasati. You definitely empower yourself to face the challenges far better in a much more empowered state when you decide to practice gratitude.
You learn to ignore petty things.
Yes, because you choose to operate from a higher level of consciousness. You definitely let go of a lot of things which you know are momentary. You choose that a different plane of existence on operation for yourself.
We will be in the present.
We'll be in the present, absolutely. You cannot express gratitude for something that happened. Yes, you can, but it's more about practicing it just now. Absolutely. For sure. So make gratitude a part of your life. Say thank you. The minute you say thank you, what happens is you are actually forcing yourself to notice things, that are going good for you. You don't just say, there are so many times that we just say thank you without thinking. Be present to say thank you. The minute you say thank you with full attention, you are accepting that you are blessed. You have something to be grateful for. Thank people who are normally not thanked. So many times we thank our peers, our leaders. What about the people who never get thanked? Maybe the watchman of your building. He does so many things right. What about thanking him? Try doing that. That smile that illuminates his face is going to make your day. Believe me. It's definitely something that, and in fact, even at work, if you made gratitude as part of the work culture, you will have far more engaged. You will have far more committed people. And one thing which is my favorite is saying, if you don't know how to practice gratitude about anything or for anybody, just try taking that thing off your daily schedule. I'll give you a small example. All of us in India, most of us at least, enjoy a morning cup of tea. One day, if we don't get the tea at the prescribed time, because you get up in the morning at 7 o'clock and you realize there's no milk. And that day, if you get tea at 9:30 instead of the 7 o'clock, you savor that tea far more than what you normally do at 7 o'clock when you're just doing it by default. You're so much more grateful for it. Suddenly, a simple morning cup of tea. You learn to, so practicing gratitude actually allows you to savor it with so much more, I would say, joy.
So
That's
when
gratitude.
you are fasting and then you eat after
Yes.
a day, so that
Absolutely.
is like, Amrit.
Absolutely. You're suddenly so much more grateful for that food, right? Just at the end of 12 hours, you're having it at 8 p.m. instead of at 8 a.m. You're suddenly so much more grateful for that, for that meal. Thank you so much, Bhasati. That was a wonderful thing to add. Thank people. The staff who works for you, the leaders who uplifted you, maybe saw something in you that even you had not noticed. Shift. So now what I want you to do is, I want you to pick up at least 2 ideas for yourselves that resonate with your core values, to who you are. What are your core values? Pick up 2 ideas from here and write down those ideas that resonate the most with your core values that you would like to bring to your daily life. And I'm going to give you a minute to do that. And I'm going to give you an example just to reinforce. The core values are the PETS qualities. So I'm going to give you my example. One of my core values is loyalty. So what are the two things that I can do? Maybe I can be so much more, I can show my gratitude to the people who work for me because I want to inspire loyalty. Loyalty is important to me. So I would want to make it a practice to say thank you to them every day. That's, for me, that resonates with my core value. So I want each of you to write two things based on your core values that you would like to do, that resonate with, that you like to take to your daily life. Are we done? Thank you, Urmi. Thanks, Kirti. Suraya, are you done? Amit? Great. So we're just going to take one example of talking about gratitude journal, because I think that's something that is most often spoken about. So each night before going to bed, can I just take 1 minute? We love to give homework to the children, right? So it's like doing the homework ourselves. 1 minute is all you will need to write down 3 things that happened to you during the day which you're grateful for. One person you are grateful for, whatever anybody did during the day for you. And also, in anticipation, the one thing that you're looking forward to in the next day. Three things that I'm grateful for which happened today. One person I'm grateful for what he or she did today. And one thing that I'm already grateful for and looking forward to about tomorrow. You know what's going to happen? When you close the day with that kind of a positivity and with a sense of gratitude, you're going to sleep better. You're going to sleep with that sense of happiness and complete joy. And when you've written about the next day in anticipation, you're already sending positive vibes to your next day and are upbeat about it. It's no longer about, oh, tomorrow again. When you get up in the morning, you will get up with that excitement and that complete cheer. That's what a gratitude journal can do. Any questions, any concerns, any reflections, anything at all?
Also, at the end of the day, when you think of the good things that have happened to you, you tend to dwell on the positives rather than the negatives. So by default, you're forgiving people, you're getting over your regrets because you're only focusing on the positives.
Thank you so much, Meenakshi. Absolutely. So you're just in that positive frame of mind, letting go of anything that has pulled you down maybe during the day, but you choose to be on a higher plane. Thank you, Meenakshi, for sharing that. Charu, I'm sorry, were you saying something? Was there anybody who was wanting to share? Sorry, did I miss that?
Suppose anything happened negative also, think that one, because of that one, what creativity you are going to develop. what change will come within you. Take in a positive way, convert that into positive way. That is a type of gratitude also.
Just putting a positive focus and choosing to be grateful for the learning, for the opportunity, for the lessons that you could have learned, you've learned from that.
From
As
that
I said,
person,
it's not,
yes.
yeah, it's
Anybody,
not about,
anybody,
it's
anything.
not about being selective, saying, oh, nothing bad has happened to my life. There are going to be challenges. We are not saying that it's all rosy. It is where we decide to put our focus on. Thank you, Sai. Lovely. The next gem that we focus on is empathy.
Can I give one example if you don't mind?
Sure, please go ahead.
Yeah, in 2003, when I got my Mayor Award, I have given the first call to my Chhattis Sakada bolte na, exactly opposite lady. My HM was there in DN Nagar school. I gave the first call to her because of you are sending me to a remote place. I got a challenge and this award came for that reason. So you are the first person to receive my award. This is for you. For your greatness, I got it. My creativity came out. So I have given the award to my HM first, who is not liked me too much. She wept like anything on that day. Sai, we are scolding you. You are happily giving back to us. So good vibe you are giving to me. I'm very grateful to you. I never forget in my life. This is a good teaching for me, she said.
That's what happens.
This is the gratitude happens.
Yeah, that's what we say. It basically spreads happiness, cheer, and it's a relationship binder. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm sure it's very special, and it's awesome to hear that. So here we talk about empathy. Now, empathy is something which is very often confused with sympathy, but they're critically different. It's like you going up to somebody and saying, so sorry you're going through this. So what you've done is you isolated that person, somebody separate from you. Whereas empathy is you go to somebody and says, I understand how you're feeling, you're not alone. It builds a connection between you and the other person. Instead of creating a divide, there is a connection. You're still standing outside, but you're doing it with a sense of comfort. You're giving a sense of comfort. So what happens is it makes people feel supported and understood. It's the ability to understand what the other person is feeling, what they are going through. You know, that is what we are talking about. And because of that, what it does, it creates a far kinder world. Because the minute people feel supported and understood, there is so much of compassion and kindness that lives inside. That is empathy. What it needs, what is needed for empathy is self-awareness, the ability to distinguish between your feelings and the other person's feelings, understanding the other person's feelings without getting bogged down. The ability to understand, to listen, to take to another, to understand another person's perspective. That is what empathy is. Putting yourself into other people's shoes. That is empathy. And believe me, when you practice it, what happens is it builds relationship. Because see, the minute you understand the perspectives, needs, intentions of others, it's so much more, it does so much more to build those relationships, to strengthen those relationships. Whether at home, work, wherever. It just strengthens those relationships so much more because it reduces the prejudices completely, right? I cannot be prejudiced against with somebody if I'm understanding the person's perspectives. It builds that connections of the heart. There's no, it helps me to get into the space of being non-judgmental. The more you are empathetic, and here I'm talking about home and work, but specifically we do it at work, believe me, you'll have a far more engaged team because once they know, that they are being understood, by their employers, by their seniors, by their leaders, they will be willing to be, do so much more, willing to commit to do so much more. You will have far more engaged teams. That's what empathy is all about. So how do you really develop empathy? First of all, notice. Pay close attention to clues. There are clues all around when you're interacting with people. It could be their body language. We may not physically be meeting, but we are still looking. That's why I'm saying it's so important to put on the cameras. Notice the body language, the tone, unusual patterns. You have a colleague who's always punctual, and then suddenly you start feeling that, oh, she's not coming on time. Maybe a call outside the scheduled time and saying, what's happening? I'm noticing you're not coming on time. I hope everything is okay. It will go a long way in building the heart connections. Listen. When they are saying something, listen. Genuinely listen. Show a genuine interest in what the other person is sharing. Because believe me, all of us are the same. We are part of one big whole. All of us have a shared identity. We are all extensions of one another. And when you connect to people, connect at a heart level. Send positive love, kindness to the other person. Don't be dismissive. Somebody says, I'm still depressed about X thing that happened to me. Don't be dismissive and say, it happened 2 months back, move on. Listen and connect, show kindness, send positive healing energies to people. And practice mindfulness. Be aware of ourselves. Let's be aware of it. Let's be aware of the surroundings. So now what I want you to do is, from the list above, I want you to write 2 ideas that will help you bring happiness at work. 2 ideas that you can do to practice empathy that will bring happiness at work. And when I say happiness at work, it's obviously going to be the self-love that you practice. Only then you can be happy at work and bring happiness. And now coming down to the last, talk about mindfulness. I'm sure this is a word that all of us cumulatively have heard the maximum, especially in the last 15 months. But to cap it, it is something which is wherein we are talking about completely grounding ourselves in the now. Mindfulness, in a nutshell, is about being in the now, no thinking of the past and no stressing of the future. That's mindfulness. It is about awareness of our thoughts, feelings, of our emotions, sensations, body sensations, about the environment, everything. That's mindfulness. And bringing a very gentle, nurturing lens to accepting what is happening, not the what ifs. What if this had happened? Not accepting, complete acceptance of what is happening now. There's no right and wrong. This is what is happening. Agar ye nahi hota, ye ho gaya. This is what I am here. This is what I'm talking about. Accepting. Paying attention to to your thoughts and feelings. I'm hurt. Why am I feeling sad? Why am I feeling like this? Accepting that I'm feeling like this. Accept it. And also, the thing is, don't judge. Now, the biggest, I would say, confusion about mindfulness is most of the time it is taken as a parallel to meditation. Mindfulness meditation. The thing is, meditation is just one of the ways that you practice mindfulness. For me, I'm a very physical person. For me, mindfulness is about going for a solitary walk. No phone, nobody else. It could be a 10-minute walk, it could be a 60-minute walk, depending on the time that I have or the complexity of the thing that I have to deal with. That is being mindfulness. Just me, me, myself, with nobody else, no technology. That is what allows me to center myself from within. Find the thing that works the best for me. But we are talking about being mindfulness. Why? Because it definitely increases the focus. You are doing what you are doing with 100% focus, concentration here. You're giving 100% attention to that. So whether it is work, whether it is people, you definitely do better work, far better decision-making skills, far better decision taking that happens. Far more connectedness to people, because you're not looking at the phone and you're somewhere here or thinking of what happened yesterday or what may happen tomorrow. So there is a complete connectedness to the people who are within you, around you in that possible minute. And the minute you are not rehashing the past or thinking of the future, believe me, the stress levels go down crazy. There is a sense of well-being because you are in a sense of acceptance to where you are currently. There is this sense of well-being that you have. You work better, you sleep better. You are less anxious. One simple principle, you decide to be 100% present to the now, in the now. That's what we are doing. Now, this is what we're talking about, mindfulness. Why? The thing is, how do I cultivate it? I want to be mindful. I know there are a lot of benefits. I have tried. But I can't sit for half an hour of meditation. Don't. It could be the small things that you decide to embrace, which would help you to actually practice mindfulness. Pay attention, especially when you're feeling intense emotions. Pay attention and slow down. I'm sure all of us have noticed that we start breathing very fast when we experience intense emotions. Notice and slow down. Sync with the energies of life here and now. Take time to recognize your thoughts, your emotions. Don't just whiz past life. Slow down, recognize, notice. Wherever you are, notice the sounds, the sights, the smells. All these things which ordinarily slip by without us being aware about them. Be aware of them. When you're going for a walk, maybe just smell the wet mud, the smell of a flower. Tune into your body's physical sensations. Go wash your hands, feel the water coming into your palms. Just take some moment when you're working, especially on a deadline. Just experience how am I feeling? Am I feeling very tense? Are my shoulders bunched up? Just take that moment and relax your shoulders. That's called being mindful. And when you do that, appreciate yourself. Learn to appreciate these micro moments of mindfulness that you experience. The minute you learn to appreciate yourself for the little things that you do, those little things will soon become very gigantic steps. And at the end of the day, reset your focus. Remember your sense of purpose. Maybe at the end of the day, if you want, look at your core selfie sheet. Acknowledge what are the values that I used today in my work. How much of my core purpose, how much of my life purpose did I actually live by in my work today? Remind yourself of how truly magnificent you are at the end of the day. Start the next day with a clean slate. So I'm going to now stop sharing, but I definitely I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to now request all of you to put on the cameras if you can and type in the chat box or share what is that one thing that you would like to do to carry back with into your life that would help you to focus on the GEM framework. How would you like to practice gratitude, cultivate empathy, practice mindfulness? Thank you so much to everybody who's putting on the camera. It's suddenly so nice to see the faces. Anybody would like to share, you can unmute and share. Otherwise, you can put it in the chat box. I can read it also. Whatever suits you, because I actually honestly wanted to put all of you in the breakout room so that all of you could share, but I think we've run out of time. So I'm going to just request all of you to share it here with all of us. Yes.
I think one thing which comes for me is, I think to a certain extent, we're all aware of some of these concepts. The point is to be regular. What happens is you do it for some time, then you let it go, then you come back. So I think regularity is something which maybe I would like to start doing after this, because you have again enhanced or, sort of made these points strong again to be aware. Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I think that's one of the reasons probably why Rashmi ma'am would have started these series, because I think we all of us know everything, but I think it's these reinforcements which these sessions do that would allow us to embrace them far more regularly in our lives. So thank you so much. If it allows you to do, if it helps you to do that, it will be a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Priyanka, I'm a counselor myself, so I do appreciate all your points very much. And yes, it was an idea to start these series for this very reason. And so thank you so much for being here and giving all this information.
My pleasure. My pleasure, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here.
I would like to stop by and smell the roses.
Oh, wow. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. That's wonderful.
Because we are so
wonderful.
Caught up in our lives, there's no time actually to reflect and to appreciate. So that is going to be my takeaway from your session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's absolutely wonderful. I think if we just sort of slow down and just start noticing,
yes,
we can do so much,
yes,
so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. Got some chats. Sarita says, I'm going to start writing good things that happen in my daily life. So that's journaling. Thank you. Thank you, Saris. Start journaling more often. Great. Yes. Saraswati says, try to find positives in the negatives. Yes. Amit says, I'll start practicing mindfulness more and will try to be a good listener in order to be more empathetic. I love the way you've interwoven the entire thing, Amit. Deepa says, write daily gratitude journal. Ajay says, affirmations. Poonam says, we'll try mindful journaling for empathy and positive vibes. I love the way you've done that, Sairi. Awesome. Thank you so much. everyday self-analysis, try to think positive thoughts, Vidya. Thank you so much. Yes, great. And I think we are on time. It's a commitment of 60 minutes for all of you, and I decided to choose. I respect that completely. Any questions? I'm here if anybody has any questions, any reflections, most happy. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure to be here, pleasure to be part of any initiative done by Vidya, because I'm in awe of all the work that all of you do.
Thank you. Thank you, Priyanka.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
I think that the PPT that you shared was excellent. Can we have it, if you could mail it to some of us?
Sure.
Because it's something we can reinforce again and again when we have sessions with the teachers or students.
Most happy to. Most happy to. I'll mail it to
That
Mary.
would be very helpful.
I'll
That would be really helpful. Yeah.
I'll mail it to Mary, and Mary can send it across.
Mary,
Most
please,
happy.
please. This is my point of gratitude for tonight.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Priyanka.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you, Meenakshi.
On
for the
behalf
lovely
of
session.
Vidya family, I would like to thank Priyanka Arora ma'am for this holistic and amazing session. On behalf of Vidya team, I would like to thank Rashmi ma'am for starting this initiative of self-love and care. I would also like to thank Davolkar sir and Priyanka Mathur for giving me this opportunity. Last but not the least, thank to all the wonderful participants, those who attended the session and took part in all the activities very actively. To conclude the session, I would like to put forward a wonderful quote. Be thankful for what you have. You will end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never ever have enough. Once again, thank you everyone. Thank you very much.
It's a wonderful quote of me. Thank you so much for ending that. I had also decided to share. I think I just stopped share before that quote came up on the screen. What I ended up the presentation with is the struggle ends when the gratitude begins. So I think if we can all embrace gratitude as a part of our life, the GEM framework will just become so much easier to embrace. Thank you, everyone.
Love that quote. Struggle ends when gratitude begins. It's beautiful.
Yeah.